What's up, y'all? I want to hop on here and quickly say something real quick. I'm at a park right now. It's a chill area. I was wanting to come out and chill for a little bit. And then I have to go home and study and do whatnot, and work. And so I saw an Instagram video 2 days ago, or a day ago. I saw an Instagram video that talks about for example, let's say a bottle of water. You have a bottle of water sells for $1, let's say at a store, and then it sells for $4 at the gym, and it sells for $7 at like a fair or something. The point of that is that it's all the same. It's all the same bottle of water, but it goes for different values. And it's the same thing in life. You can't focus on questioning if you're worth enough, or if you aren't worth anything, or if you're worth anything at all. Rather than you should be questioning if you're in the right place. And I think that really got me thinking, because it's not about like if you're not worth enough. It's about if you're in the right place or not, and if this place values what you have. The point being that have a different perspective. It's like you might not even like the place that you're trying to go. You're just trying to fit into the society's views, I guess. Trying to fit in with what your parents or your friends tells you to do, and what you think might be good for you. But it's, and you might be too driven by external or extrinsic stuff, maybe external things, and that's what's affecting you, I guess. But yeah. And for those of you out there that are in the process of doing stuff, it's about, rather than questioning if you're good enough, or if your education is good enough, or if you have experiences, rather than questioning that, then maybe start looking at if the place even suits you. That's like a good question to ask, because a lot of times I want to do stuff and the people just wouldn't accept me or anything, and that's just got me thinking, if the place even suits me, or if they even value what I have. What's up, nerds? I just came back to my house, and now I'm laying on the couch. I was about to do some work, but yeah. No, and you know what? I saw something funny when I just came back, is that, and I saw a pile of dust in front of my house. And talk about some self-control, or like having some common courtesy to do stuff. It's like, so I saw the same kind of dust, or like same kind of dirt in my neighbor's yard. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was him, because today morning they are having some workers and they were doing some yard work, and just some people just annoying like that.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
They just gotta blow their shit to other people's house and just leave it there. It's like just, and can't you like have some common decency to like just blow it all the way through. But I mean, I guess people just can't think like that. But you know what, whatever. But yeah, and a couple of days ago, I was asking people what content I should post, or like, do you guys have any questions, or some questions that you want answers to? The most common question that I always get when I'm at the gym or when I'm training people is like, what is mobility workout? People, there are a client that asked me, my hip hurts, and I was just saying, have you ever tried hip mobility workout? And she was asking me, what is hip mobility? And so let's break it down real quick. So hip mobility, well, obviously it goes to the hip. Mobility is the ability to move freely and like have good mechanics, I guess. I guess I can say that. It's like the ability to move and the joint stability and how you're able to move through a motion freely, and and how are you able to achieve these things is through mobility workouts or mobility stretches, that I actually like to always call them stretches because they're kind of like a stretch. And it's like the workout that I showed the other day is just hip stretches, because when you go deep and low into the squat, you're stretching your hip flexors. That's kind of, opening up your hip flexors so it can have more range of motion when you do squats in the future. And yeah, I have to switch arms to hold my camera because my arm's getting tired. And I think it's also important to talk about what is, everybody has a different mechanics, body mechanics, how they function. And I think everyone's, what's the word? Body mechanics is different, I guess. And so, yeah, and you just gotta find out what works for you, and you don't ever want to get stuck for just doing, just following what everyone else does, and without putting your thoughts into the movement, and that's how you get brainwashed, and in many things, if you don't have individuality, I think, yeah, if you don't have that, you're just gonna lose yourself, in middle of all the things, and I think the key into achieving, to know what works best for you is to just look at what other people do and try them out yourself, and also ask yourself, does that feel good, or does that feel how does that feel, and a lot of people talk about listen to your body, or you have to listen to your body, or if you don't, you're gonna blah blah blah. And what does that really mean, though? Listen to your body means, well, at least to me it means to really ask myself if I'm feeling tired, and so I can take a rest day, a day off from working out, or stuff like that. And the best way to do that for me is take a minute away from doing all the workouts and just ask myself, like in the gym without going anywhere, am I feeling good, or do I want to continue, stuff like that. But I always do them after my warm-up set, because sometimes I can just feel lazy, or sometimes it can be both. And it's good. It's okay to feel lazy here once in a while. One day is not gonna ruin your whole body physique and your strength. Because out of all the years I've been working out, one day or 1 week won't hurt it. Just 1 week out of entire year. And yeah. To quote from Walt Whitman, he said, "What I celebrate myself, for every atom belonging to me, as good belongs to you." Walt Whitman believed that true self-realization involves embracing one's own individuality, one's own identity. And so, he's like my favorite author. And I think that, even I don't know everything. And even I'm still trying to research a lot of things that I do at the gym or do in everyday life. Google has a lot of answers, so I Google a lot of stuff. But, it's about asking questions, not answering, asking. It's about asking questions, and always have curiosity and always seeking for answers. And that is ultimately what will make you grow, grow as a person or in the field that you want to do, that you want to get into and stuff, yeah. But yeah, and I don't think there's anything much else to it in this vlog, and not much else to share. But yeah, I'm kind of tired. I gotta get some work done. But yeah, peace.